What up, y'all? It's just your boy John Montana and my boy Scott Sycamore of fuckers trying to spy on us. I am freaking out today. I'm very paranoid mode right now.
Right.
I had a really interesting day. I'm gonna explain what without too many details, but explain what happened. I've been looking into a lot of this stuff about what happened in Boston. And there's like an avalanche of pretty hard evidence that has been coming out, like just in the past few days, like just before the end of the week anniversary of what just happened over there. And, again, you have the usual like theories of, it's an inside job, it's a false flag, or, it's crisis actors and all this stuff. But I've never seen more of these, theories be so, like, so actually, like, almost obvious in this.
What I mean?
There's
more electronic evidence.
Because there's footage and there's pictures and all this stuff, and it really looks like something's fishy.
Something's afoot.
Something is, there's pictures of the kid with the suspect who's in custody right now that they shot through the throat, or shot himself in the throat. Now they're saying that he was holding a backpack, but then when you zoom in, it looks like he's holding an invisible backpack because his arm is positioned like he's holding a backpack, but you don't see a backpack there. So it looks very cleverly photoshopped, and I'm a good Photoshop expert. And
couldn't the people pointing out the Photoshop be the ones doing Photoshops as well?
Yeah.
That filter of the internet.
And then you could always, like, there's that picture of the third suspect, the one that's gonna be deported today. The guy that Glenn Beck exposed to be like a very high-level terrorist from Saudi Arabia.
Well, yeah, it's like a freaking Bond movie.
It's ironic that Glenn Beck kind of broke the story, but I think Alex Jones alluded to it too also. But it's
GB might be calling up his reserve
but at the same time, it's like you look at this evidence and you see just a little white square on top of the backpack that's been exploded. Yeah. And there's a little white square on top of the backpack that this suspect number 3 was wearing, and that could be Photoshopped too. Anybody could make a little white square and like superimpose it onto an image. What does the white
square mean? Is it some sort of terrorist insignia?
I don't know. It could just be kind of like a mark, just to let them know like which one it is.
Your sack is marked.
Yeah.
So what are the initial, in the opening stages of this piecing together of this case, what's your impression?
Anyway, I'm just going to talk about what happened to me personally.
Oh yeah,
today.
Sure.
I've been trying to post some of this stuff up on my Facebook, and it just, for the first time, and I know this has happened before, but for the first time, it's happened consistently where I'm posting stuff and then my computer shuts down, or like, you know what I mean? Like it just crashes.
Yeah.
And I have to restart it and try to do it again and do it again and do it again. And eventually I just stopped my computer for a while. And then I turned it back on and I was able to post stuff again. But it was all stuff that I was posting that was related to the Boston, what happened with the Boston bombing brothers, the BBB.
The Triple B.
BBB,
talk about viral videos. These videos and the shit were shutting down your computer. Like a virus does.
And it was weird because my own father, who's not even into this kind of stuff, posted something that I actually was surprised about an amputee, I guess, somebody who was wheeled out of the scene, and who looks like he had lost his legs but wasn't bleeding at all. There was no blood dripping out, and that's what was the interesting thing. There was no blood coming out of his leg. There should be a trail of blood. He should have lost most of the blood in his body. He should be impaled and unconscious. But if you look at the picture, he looks perfectly conscious, and he's just being wheeled out. And so the theory out there is that this guy was already an amputee, and that he was put there at the scene as a crisis actor. And
it's certainly possible.
It's a theory, but it's really, really interesting. Like they're right. Like he should have been dead, like within minutes. If it's both his legs get chopped off, like you lose almost all the blood in your body.
It was both legs. Like well, I proposed the thing that there's some sort of cauterization and clotization, and was it clot? Whatever, when your skin heals wounds and stuff. So
not that fast.
No, it's not like that. No.
Right after the explosion.
It's cauterization from heat, and that could stem the blood flow by burning the end part.
That. I would love to see if there's somebody that can debunk that.
There's if you're an actor on that level, and then you're put in this situation, whether they tell you it's fake before, or you're just doing a drill or whatever, and then real shit does actually happen, you just react like anyone else. I don't want to be
insensitive. Like maybe somebody did die. Like I'm not saying that little boy didn't die, and like these other two people didn't die. I'm not saying that didn't happen, but I'm just pointing something out.
Radio.
You know what I mean? Like, could this have been a drill at the same time as a bomb?
But okay, if there's a drill,
could this have been like there's a lot of people who reported that it was a drill, and I know these things where there's these drills where they fake stuff like that, because they did that at my high school.
That joint.
Shortly after Columbine, they did like a fake. There was a mock bomb threat at my high school, and there was also another time there was a mock
mock chicken.
It was like something
mock
like they do these things where like it's a drill, and like the announcer on the
it's called
principal
security.
gets on the announcer thing and says like
PA.
So and so has just died, blah blah blah, from a drunk driving accident like a block away from here.
They give you false info.
Yeah, they'll tell us that, and then the whole day everybody was like, oh no, I knew her, I had a class with her and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And by the end of the day, it was like, oh, you have just participated in an experiment to to scare you guys not to drive drunk, basically. They did that, and
they use fake real students' names for a fake drunk driving story.
Yeah, like, and they had you always had these drills like fire drills, and it was
well, I'll take over the mic now. They can't hear you over there, Jonathan.
This is when you take it to the extreme, of course, and
let's take it to the hoop.
So I don't know, man. Could this be the same thing? Like they had a drill at the same time that the real thing happened? I don't know.
Yeah, but why? Tell me the purpose. It could be one, it
could be the other, it could be both.
Tell me the purpose of the reason for doing such things as that. Like, why have the drill and then do a real thing? What are they trying to accomplish?
I think it's the perfect diversion to have a drill, because then the people, everybody's not looking around thinking that there might be a suspect around there. They all think, oh, this is just a drill. These guys are just, regular FBI guys or whatever.
But the quote-unquote government with a capital G is doing the bombing and doing the drill at the same time for the purpose of martial law, terror.
It's the perfect cover for it. Like, if you do a drill, like, if anybody, like, if you're gonna go a drill, don't announce that you're doing a drill, because then, the terrorists are gonna know where to go and attack.
What about this?
It's gonna be a perfect diversion for them.
I got something for.
Don't do a drill at something like the Boston fucking Marathon.
But check this out. What about the fact that there was they were saying there was gonna be a fake explosion, a controlled explosion at the library, the JFK library. What about that?
That was a tweet sent out by the Boston Globe, right?
Yeah, that's the Building 7.
Is that real? I don't know if that's a real thing. I mean, people can make something look like a real tweet, but
no. But they said there was explosion at the first day. They said there was explosion at the JFK library. Where did that go?
Yeah.
So there was a thing there, right?
Yeah, that did happen allegedly, but
But there was 2 bombs originally.
A lot of this stuff could be digitally manipulated, and once it gets deleted off the internet, there's no evidence that it ever existed. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Real talk.
Oh, you don't want to do the interview?
Huh?
You want to do the interview when you get back?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool.
There's an interview subject on the horizon.
We have a guest coming up. But he's actually he's got to handle some shit, so we'll do the interview with him later.
Not an actual shit. Does that mean we take a break now and go to some commercials, or we try to fucking feel out the time?
Well, yeah, we'll take a break. We'll maybe smoke a little something.
No. Yeah, a little bath salts and a little spice. You know how we
some bath salts. Yeah.
You know how we do it here at IJS Studio. Okay. Yeah. So continue the legend. Here we go. Back in 5. All right.
Okay, so another thing I didn't mention in the story. I mean, okay, so there's this thing with my computer crashing all day and all that. Then there was this girl that kept hitting me up for drugs, and I don't sell drugs, of course, but she kept hitting me up all night for that shit, and I thought that was a little weird.
Well, she's
like a real like satanic type of
girl, too. These things all confluence at the same time. It seems to be the planets must be lining up or some shit.
And then so I go to this to the store, and it's like right by this college there, this school.
There is a college.
And so basically, like, I'm biking there because I would like to get exercise. I like to bike around.
You're the Ron Paul of wherever we are.
And so I'm biking there, and I see like cops as they like fire firefighters,
civil authority.
I see like everywhere, just like, and I don't know if they're following me. I just keep seeing them. I just keep running into them. So I go over there. I go to the store. I handle the thing. And then I come back and I find out from my friend, who's actually the guy that we're gonna talk to later, that basically there was a bomb threat at the school that was right next to like the store that I was shopping at.
But did you see evacuees on the street?
No, I didn't, because they happened after I left. I just went in the store, did my thing, I left. And the bomb threat happened afterwards, like right after.
Right
after.
It
had to happen right after I left because I didn't see anybody evacuating.
But you said you saw mad cops and fire and all that before when you were heading to the store, right?
Yeah, so it's almost like they were going over there already knowing that this thing was happening and they were going to evacuate.
Some sort of drill.
So that could be it. That could be a drill.
Well, yeah, after the Boston thing, I mean, it could be a drill. This is a college with thousands of people that, evacuating all of them would be a pretty massive people moving task.
But like it could be a drill, and then it's supposed to have like fake bombs, and they're gonna have fake victims and all that stuff, and then the bombs turns out to be real somehow. Somebody planted a real bomb in the fake bomb. Just like what's his name? You remember Bruce Lee's son? Somebody
Brandon.
So a lot of people say there's conspiracy theorists that say that he was assassinated and they put real bullets in there because it was supposed to be like blanks.
Oh no,
and all that.
I think he definitely was, because it was literally, I heard a scene where the guy just holds up a gun and shoots him once. It wasn't this crazy like bullet scene with back and forth the shooting battle. That's where I thought he got hit, but no, it was carefully placed, as they all. It seems like nowadays there's a time, like, I don't want to call it, not constriction, but it's like a double-sided time thing. Like when there's a terror attack or a bombing, there's like pre-knowledge. You'll see cops and everything around before already, and then afterwards there's some shit. It's almost like they're trying to control it from both sides of time of the event. And but of course there's heightened security and everything. They're running drills and shit.
And of course that would basically insinuate that people inside of the production company of the movie The Crow were basically conspiring to assassinate Brandon Lee.
Well, all it takes is one getting to one production designer.
In relation to the idea that we could be seeing like these hoaxes going on, it's really people going by a script, and then the gunpowder in the bomb is. Everybody thinks it's a fake bomb, but then it turns out to be a real bomb.
America today is like a fucking movie with all these terrorist attacks and just crazy.
I mean, we know that there was a drill on 9/11, and everybody thought it was, don't worry, it's fake. But they're saying there's planes about to hit the World Trade Center. Oh, it's just a drill. Don't worry, it's all part of the drill. And then it turns out to be real. You know what I mean? So it's it's the same thing over and over. It's always, the drill is the one common denominator. The drill factor is the one common denominator in all these so-called false flag.
Well, you know what it may be? I equate it to like the fire department when they start fires in the forest to control the brush and shit, so greater fires don't happen. I'm sure you're aware of this practice.
The fire department starting fires? Sounds like that book Fahrenheit 451.
I know, and they do. Funny that. They don't do it in urban neighborhoods yet that we know of. But they'll burn down a little piece of the forest or whatever, so then there can't be a greater fire, supposedly. And maybe that's what's going on. Maybe
that's why all these brush fires are always popping up around all the time, and and it gives the fire department something to do. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah, they need practice,
puts them
right?
to work. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
and it raises taxes because then we have to pay the fire department more to hire more people.
Just give them a bigger budget, but also they're all getting their salaries and shit cut. But yeah, it's the same thing with all this security state, CIA, fucking DHS type stuff. They need a reason to exist. Like if there's truly no terror and there's no threat, they can't. There's no reason for them to be there, and they know that people will understand that. You know, we'll start to know it.
And then did you hear the? You said you sent me like an interview. I didn't listen to it because I can't stand the guy who's doing the interview. The guy interviewing suspect number 2's.
Mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's Dan Dix from InfoWars.
Oh, did he really talk to her? Like, did he actually?
Yeah, well, according to AJ, basically.
Oh, you're talking about just that clip of him saying that he talked to her, but like, you don't hear her actually talking.
Something like, well, he talked to her, and then him/AJ, I think, relayed the information through whack videos like that.
Oh, so AJ never actually talked to her.
AJ himself, no. It was supposedly that dude, Mr. Dix.
Dix.
The shit. Sorry. I spit on your dick.
You just spit
no
on
homo.
my dick. Fucker.
Oh shit. Don't
this
get cotton mouth.
This guy said the word dicks and like a big slop of fucking... A big loogie came out of his mouth and landed on my dick. Like, dude, what the fuck is that, dude?
That was not planned, brah. That's what happens when you fucking...
All right, it's the cotton mouth. I understand.
Yeah, it's definite cotton mouth thing. But that's why when you note to people out there, when your knees touch too much during radio show recordings.
Yes, we're using the same mic. We're doing this Aerosmith style right now.
When that happens, there may be inadvertent homo, yes homo, but really no homo type of significant Jungian events, Freudian type shit. Anyways, back to the hard news.
and we see there's more Batman parallels. You know, the Joker, Jakar. Or whatever his name is.
Drakkar Noir.
And supposedly his name is really pronounced Joker. You know, it's like...
Well, I mean, Americanization, yeah. I mean, because all the Z's and shit that
like
are in these names.
In the Middle East, it's pronounced Joker, and in American, it's pronounced...
But I mean, come on. A fool basically named Joker doing a bombing at a marathon. Isn't that something the Joker would do? So, like, a bomb at a marathon?
His Twitter name is the Joker, too.
No, like, come on. Yeah, and your humble co-host, John, and I were on a show a couple weeks ago with the fool who calls himself the Joker.
And then also he became the Joker, Jakar. I think he's the one. One of the brothers. I think he was the one who became a citizen, a naturalized citizen, on September 11th of last year, basically.
All right, you saw the...
He got all his papers on September 11th of last year.
Well, you know, yeah, as we said, 9/11 isn't just a date; it's a coded numerology. Like many different things happen on 9/11's a number. It's a totem number that's always going to pop up. As we've analyzed, you know, upside down shit, Century 16 theater, that kind of stuff, right? Numerology factors in, but also the other thing. What's your analysis of the uncle? I'm sure you've seen video of that guy, right? Yeah,
the uncle is he's like they asked him, so what do you think about, you know, the cops that you know, killed your nephew and all that? What do you think, you know, they overreacted or whatever, you know? And he's like, they did what they had to do, you know, good job. He even named them and everything. He even said their name. He's like, good job, Jack. You know, it's just like, yeah, weird. Like the uncle was praising it. He was like, I think it's great that they've been caught. You know, these two bastards.
They're
like,
losers.
Yeah, they're losers. Like they're just like, you know, they became Muslims, and the Muslim is a piece of shit religion. I don't know. He was just going on and on.
He
like
brings shame,
hatred. Like they bring shame to the Chechens.
The Chechens,
you know, and just like
that dude seemed like the typical like tough guy, fucking, you know, Eastern European.
From a culture where people like you can shame somebody in your family and like, you know, that person, you know, like the honor, you know, like honor killings and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, that's in every culture, like in Asian culture and, you know, a lot of these Middle Eastern cultures and stuff like that.
And also, what is this dude an actor? He's been propagandized, obviously. These guys weren't proven to be guilty yet and all this shit, and he's just shitting on them.
Yeah, he was already shitting on them. He's like, you fucking losers, turn yourselves in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he's like this toughish dude. And then the aunt is a truther and says they're set up, like they got every angle for their relatives and shit, like aunt and uncle.
Just the whole thing looks so set up, and then the family on the other, on the family of of the suspects are all a bunch of like truthers. They're a bunch of fucking truthers.
The whole
like
family?
9/11 truthers. Yeah.
The whole family?
The father, the mother, and the aunt. But then the uncle, the crazy one, he's like the neocon one.
Yeah.
He's like, he's the anti-truth.
He got the
pro-establishment. He's like, no, I love the government.
Attention.
I think the government is awesome. But it's just,
he's like, America is great in this country.
America is great. It's just the rest of the family. They're crazy.
That dude reminds me of the main character in the video game, Grand Theft Auto, the last one.
He's like the drunk uncle who just like shows
up. Fucking, it's just there's so many. There's never been a real-time media event quite like this before.
This is interesting. I mean, they're immigrants, they're truthers. They were given their legal status, or at least one of them was given his legal status on 9/11. So this was almost like they picked him, they chose them. They even like chose a guy with a name like that. You know what I mean? Jokar. He was chosen to be the patsy for this. It almost seems like, And okay, and then we have some very good information coming up with the homie whose name I will not reveal yet.
Yeah.
And we'll be back after these commercials.
We're clicking around. Broheims, let's do this. Here we go.
IJS Radio.
Pew pew pew. Lasers.
And we are back with the guest that I said earlier that we weren't going to reveal his name. So now we can reveal his name. His name is Harvey. That's all we're going to give you. First name, Harvey. Last name, we can't give you that.
Harvey X.
And his voice will sound a little funny on the show, but that's because, for precautions, for obvious reasons, classified reasons, which we cannot reveal. This interview is going to proceed in the most conducted in the most secretive possible way. Anyway, Harvey, introduce yourself. Just a brief introduction.
Yeah,
that was as brief as it gets.
That's all it says. Yeah, that's all you need.
Yes. Okay. So Harvey, you are from another country, which I'm not gonna say unless you want to say it yourself. So tell me a little bit about what you've learned there while there recently.
Money is king.
Money is definitely king.
You didn't learn that in America. How did you learn that there?
In America, intimidation and power is king.
Woo, that's deep. We knew we were going there.
Where you have vast poverty, money is king, because everybody just wants to get their hands on a little bit of money. You feel what I'm saying?
Just a bit.
Doesn't even matter if it's enough for a cup of coffee or a cup of water. You know what I'm saying?
Like heads there, if they can buy beer at the end of the day, they're like fucking stoked, right? It's like that out there in the world, right?
They'll do anything they have to just to be able to get some food at night.
That's the world. You hear that, people? This is the only show exposing shit like that worldwide.
That's right.
So America's like the bully that beats the shit out of people on the playground, and that's what has their power. That's what gives us our power.
I mean, what gives us our power is we can, beat the shit out of any other country militarily, as far as we know. And that's what gives us our confidence. That's what gives us our cockiness. But another country, their power doesn't come from intimidation. It comes from empowerment. That's why other countries are able to be better capitalists than we are, because they know what it's like to fucking work hard and hustle for that cheese.
So you're saying a dollar, money's even more important over there. There's no dream to get to the top or whatnot like we have here.
All right. So, Harvey, you were telling me before that you have a connection to some deep stuff going on over there. I guess connection is the right word.
I'm not sure if you want to say I'm connected.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say. You're connected. I don't want to say by family or friendship or what kind of connection exactly.
I might know some people who might be connected.
Right. So just if you could elaborate as much as you can afford to on this radio show without revealing any names necessarily, exactly what you know and how deep does it go and how relevant is it to everything we talk about here when it comes to like New World Order and societies, secret societies, and where all the power lies.
Thug passionistic.
I'll say one thing, it definitely doesn't go as deep as you would think it would go.
Really?
It's not this whole government, presidents, or illuminated objects of some sort. It's not like that. You know what I'm saying? When I got normal ass people who are going through the normal ass system, you know, the government, they're going up there to be the mayor of the government, the president, whatever. But, you know, the way they get into this position of power is, you know, they get funded. They get funded by these local groups and local people. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they get up to the top.
Right. Money.
Now, when you say local groups and local people, over here in America, it's more the corporations that fund the campaigns and political careers.
Super pop.
And you would say over there it's more localized. It's more like militias and groups, like ethnic groups or certain, smaller special interests.
Whoever's got the money on the block.
Right. Whoever's got the money.
So it's a true street
people that
level.
are like, so it's basically the same as here, like people with oil, people with resources, and
it's basically the same concept that you have here in America, except the only difference is that it's not advertised to the world and falsified image. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it sounds like over there it's literally they're collecting money off of people in the streets, whereas here we have big corporations and super PACs and shit. That's who gives all the money to like make everything run.
You see your money leaving your pocket. In America, you don't know what's going on. In America, you're clueless to what you see.
Now, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen?
Untellable.
And if you can tell me, and if you can't, what's the second craziest thing you've seen?
Oh, shit. I can tell you the 37th craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was during the month of Ramadan. And I saw about 3 Australian girls. They were walking down the beach, just minding their own business, just, having fun and whatnot. And since they were in bathing suits, and that deemed by law in Muslim countries, it is just not acceptable. You know what I'm saying? So, a bunch of guys who were just, hanging out on the beach, drinking their beers and shit, fucking just ran up and just started cracking bottles on these girls, throwing rocks at them. Just brutal.
Wow.
Right, so what was the aftermath? What happened to the chicks?
They died probably.
Nothing good.
They didn't go along.
You didn't stick around to see it. Full out vicious, and this is all like okay.
Normal stuff. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, the cops came, and these guys got away.
Of course.
They had
they were exposed to the police and were released.
Yeah. And that's 37th craziest, according to you.
Now, okay, those are citizens doing this. Now, would cops themselves do this if they saw? No, they wouldn't.
Never.
But regular citizens can do this and get away with it.
See, citizens aren't all
legally, they cannot get away with it, but figuratively, yes, they can.
It's the cops letting them getting away with it. That's the problem. If
Well,
the cops didn't let them get away with it, they wouldn't be able to do that. I always talk about how I think citizen justice is cool. I think it's cool for citizens to take the law into their own hands.
Kick ass.
You know what I'm saying? But it depends what law that is. You know what I mean? If that law is to fucking beat any fucking woman in bikini to death.
But that's not a law. That's unlaw. That's anti-law.
But it is a
law. Well, then now you're touching on the laws and the freedoms of other countries.
Exactly. So, I mean, citizen law enforcement only works if it depends on what these laws are and who's enforcing them and what the police will do. The cops will let these guys. They would never.
Everyone has a different opinion of what's just and what's unjust. You know, it's like to them that's a just let. Like if you show your tits or whatever, you should be fucking stoned, bottled, whatever. And that's the whole point. They have a belief that makes that seem good, but like, you know, some other shit, you know, reverse. What we consider good is not good. Now you could argue, oh, that's religion infecting people's minds or whatever it is, but the fact is people do it. Like, you know, God didn't make them do it and shit. Like, whatever.
Well, I mean, they have a government that allows this kind of stuff.
The government allows it. So whatever.
So it always ends up being the government's fault somehow. You know?
In the Montana verse,
it all seeds down to the payroll of the police. When you have a police force that is
not paid as much as they should be paid, or even in their eyes not paid as much as they, should be getting paid, then, they're going to be accepting bribes and accepting money to let people off. You know what I'm saying?
I actually agree with that, and you would think that I would be for decreasing their pays, but I'm actually for increasing their pays. I want less police, but I want cops to actually get paid where they're actually going to do their job instead of fucking with drug cartels on the side and get paid by drug cartels to let.
But that's always going to make.
Continue to.
That's always going to make the corruption's always going to make you more money than your actual salary and shit. You know, it's just like in the NBA, like LeBron makes more off of endorsements than his NBA fucking paycheck, even though his NBA paycheck is insane. So like, even if every cop makes 100 G's a year or whatever it would be, still, I mean, if some coke dealer can kick them fucking 300 a year and just not to do shit or to like throw off investigations, whatever.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. The drug dealers can pay these cops more than their actual jobs can. That's always going to be the problem.
That's that cartel life.
And maybe that's the problem. Maybe we need to, I guess, pay our cops more. And maybe that's going to mean like reducing the number of cops we have, so that
pay
we
them
can
in
afford
gold
to
and
pay
silver. We'll pay the cops in Ron Paul.
Ron Paul coins.
Ticket tokens, yeah. Raffle tickets and shit. But yeah, so what else? What other questions? Because Montana knows more about all this backstory here than I do, so
right.
I don't know the questions, but go for it.
No, I'm trying to get to the bottom of like really like your connections without revealing obviously any names and stuff like that. But you told me one time, and that, and I'm not gonna say any details, that you know somebody very powerful that has some kind of influence in events that happen around the world. Now, if you can expand on that without revealing any names or even the association or anything like that.
It's a sensitive.
What can you reveal about that?
All I can say about that is that, I'm gonna break it down really simple. It's like, say you got a fucking lawn, right? And you want this lawn done. You're gonna call some fucking Mexicans, you're gonna call some Asians, or you're gonna call whoever to come clean your fucking lawn. You feel what I'm saying? They're gonna drive it up and everything, right? If you got the money, you can get your lawn done. You feel what I'm saying? If you don't have the money, you do the lawn yourself, right? When you get caught, then you're the one in jail. You feel what I'm saying? If you got the money, they cleaned the lawn, they did well off. They're gone.
I need to unpack that.
You need to unzip that shit.
Squirrel nut zippers, yeah, like, okay. So if you said you figure out how to do the lawn yourself, and that's a problem. Like grow your own like raw milk, grow your own garden type shit. Like
yes, grow your own garden.
IJS
anyway, so explain what you mean by the lawn thing, if you could. Yeah.
Basically, what I mean by the lawn thing, that was really vague metaphor on my part. I'm sorry. But basically, I mean, it's like if you have the money, you have the possibility. And when you have that extremity of money where, you have that money to waste, you can get things done. That's common knowledge.
Yes. Yeah, it's sort of like you said before where you said it's not that deep, and what I took from it is like it just all runs on money. It's not necessarily about all this greater like philosophies and shit and ideals, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it always comes down to money.
Whoever's pushing the dough
all
around.
All these philosophies are just an illusion
together.
that gets people motivated around these ideas, but it's in the people at the top only care about the bottom line.
Oh damn! How paradoxical.
Yes. Okay, so explain more about this. These things that you can now reveal, since we're now going to reveal the name of the country.
Well, I can tell you that by 2017, America will no longer be a superpower.
Ooh,
wow.
Damn.
That's in 4 years.
Right, in favor of China or?
In favor of no one.
In favor of nobody.
So
not a good thing.
So 2017 will be officially like just global government will be the only power.
The global government will not come into effect for decades. Wow, decades. It will take generations for them to numb the minds of the generations into believing that one world government is the only way.
Wow, that's deep. No, that's deep. Because, yeah, that makes sense. Because you always hear people saying, it's coming, oh my God, tomorrow.
Next year.
But yeah, how do you know they don't need another 500 years to complete their plan? You know, well, in this case, in Harvey's case, he's saying, what,
well,
50
some people
to
say
100?
Also that it's already been here, that it's
that it's here.
Yeah.
But I'm saying to complete the real goal, you know, yeah, like you just said, it might take another few decades. But, yeah. So, and what you said.
What is the goal? But what is the final goal? What do you think is the final?
Or what's in 2017 and beyond?
Yeah.
Finality.
What do you think? What is going to happen in 17?
To my knowledge, in 2017, what I can predict from information present to me is that I can't say exactly what it is, to be honest, but it's gonna be a deep enough attack that's not only gonna affect our physical bodies, but also our mental bodies. If it isn't, they're not just gonna blow your legs off or fucking cut your head off. You know, this isn't the fucking French Revolution. This is 2000 and almost 20. You know, this is shit you've seen in movies, bullshitted about. It's not an attack of the physical mind. It's an attack of the mental.
I hear a lot of stuff about like fake alien invasions and fake holograms in the sky with like fucking Bigfoot or whatever they want to put in there. So it sounds, which could be in that level, like just fucking with people's heads so much.
Well, I hear
and killing them possibly.
You hear people say that by 2014 or 15 or 17 or something like that, that there'll be some kind of like a war with like cyborgs, with like humans that are like part human, part like
not
computer.
I've also heard that the CIA and the Pentagon deposits about $50 million into a bank account every year just in fake propaganda.
Yes,
well,
that's true.
Sure, that's a small propaganda bucket, really. I mean, every freaking.
That's just the internet.
Yeah. Oh, okay, sure. Now, in 2017, now I've heard stuff around that time, 2017, 2019, around there. That's when we have all this computer craziness really starting to happen, like getting towards AI type shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like more
Start
real
growing
shit.
like computer parts in your skin,
like
and
robots
all that,
on the streets type stuff. So it sounds like it coincides with that like singularity type, era, fucking whatever, end of the decade type shit. But I don't know. But that's all you could say. Like, so there'll be. It sounds like you were saying more. There'll be this attack, a deep impact, you might say.
It may not even be visible to the human eye. We might not even see it happen.
Right. No evidence. No record. And so what comes after that? Something like that.
Who knows? Maybe nothing.
Or nothing, yeah. Not even see happening. So it's it will be an actual spiritual battle, sort of. Like
2017.
Invisible.
Now, do you have any idea of like maybe like any can you give out any locations of where it's gonna happen? Like where we should be when it happens, where we should not be when it happens in 2017? Like
you should not be on Earth.
Whoa!
Wow!
Gotta get off. Hey, they are trying to send that couple to Mars, right?
Wow! And what would be
They're not the only couple going to Mars.
what is behind this cataclysm that is to happen in 2017.
It may not be a cataclysm.
It may be a physical. It could be anything. Wait, you just said they're not the only couple going to Mars. A thing. What do you know about the Martian fucking? Oh shit. Well, next ep, episode 33. I don't know which one it will actually
Captain's
be.
log. All right. So before we wrap up the show, is there anything else that we should know about your experience inside the machine? Or outside of the machine looking in.
What messages?
Or looking outside of the machine.
If you wanted a handful of people to hear your message, what is it?
And what is your message to the world? Run.
Get off.
Don't go looking for things that you're already defined.
Bam, drop the mic, walk away. Yeah. So in other words, don't go chasing waterfalls.
Yeah, right? That makes sense. Don't go looking for something that if you find you're not prepared to
I'll put it like this. Would you rather stand on the train tracks, sit there, sip a beer and watch the train come? Or would you rather run for the rest of your life until it inevitably hits you?
Well, not for long. It would hit you pretty quick if you ran, I'm sure, on the tracks. You'd have to roll off the tracks, but I get your metaphor. But
pretty
basically,
much.
It's a lot of fucked up shit to be known about, but if you focus on it and don't just enjoy life, then it's like, whatever, there's no point anyways. So harp on the
Why does it feel like an episode of the X-Files? Like, this is still shrouded in mystery.
Well,
it's
the Harvey
Hopefully,
X-Files.
yes. This is the first interview with Harvey. Maybe, hopefully, we can get him again. But this is just the tip of the iceberg, folks. So 2017. Make sure you're not on any planet called Earth. I guess.
Yeah. Keep your guns. Get off Earth. Try to take your guns to an asteroid or some shit, and live there and just get at it. Just get it, dude.
That's right.
No guns allowed in here. Love that shit.
Alright, yeah, we're not gonna get into the Snoop Dogg sellout episode.
I don't know who Snoop Dogg is, but that lion guy is just terrific.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Can't just leave on a serious note or anything.
So yeah, 2004. I guess you have 2014 until 2017 to listen to our show and masturbate to it every night.
Never heard that. That's a little fresh. Not in a good way.
IJS Radio, we are.
Hit the club.